What's up, everybody? Looks like we're getting live. All right, I know probably a lot of you are out enjoying your weekend, as you should be. But this is what I do all day, every day. I day trade. And so I figured since it's a Saturday and maybe some of you have been at work during the week and don't actually have a chance to get in here, or you actually know how to trade cryptocurrency and you realize that Saturdays are just another day in crypto land. So you kind of have to pay attention. You guys hear me? Anybody in the room? If not, this is just going to be a screen recording of what's going on, and certainly don't need to join in. But what are we listening to? All right, here we go. Whoa. So let me draw the picture here. We are looking at Bitcoin, EOS, and Litecoin. What's up, my people? K-Driven, AT, and Warriors. Good to see you here. We had some pretty good views and people joining us over during this week trading the futures. It'd be exciting to see if we get anything coming out of the weekend session here on crypto. So like always, I'm going to draw some chart or some lines on the chart. Most importantly, sorry, I'm chewing gum. Let me get rid of that real quick. That's roughly where it's at, but I'm going to put the real coordinates there. Maybe. No. Maybe not. Whatever. It's roughly 10,000. Niv, what is up? Where are you coming from, Niv? You're in Europe, I believe, right? All right. So first of all, let's take a look at the 2 weeks. I don't really love doing the monthly. Doesn't give us a whole lot of data. Let me see which exchange gives us the most furthest back data. I think, was it Wobi? Nope. Definitely Gemini gave us a good bit of data there. Bittrex maybe? No. Israel. Oh, cool. We had another Israeli this week as well. I wonder what Forex gives us. Forex goes back to not that far. Oh, that longs. That's not useful. Oh wow. maybe it was hit BTC. That's Tether. Okay, let's do this. Bitstamp. Let's look at Bitstamp. Okay, Bitstamp. Yeah, that goes way back. Okay, how far? 2013. Okay, we can go monthly on Bitstamp. All right, Bitstamp we'll use for the market. Oh, thanks, AT. You know it. See, I was over here doing the work, and you already knew. Okay. Thank you. It looks like you are correct. It goes back to August 11, 2011. Good stuff. That's why I love this place. Okay, so let's just take a look at price action and what things look like. This is when I got into crypto, right around December 2013. So what I want to point out on all price action, one thing that we're just gonna, as a group, let's just internalize this thing, and it's about tails and the candles. And yeah, I've been trading Bitcoin since 2013 and did pretty well 2017, 2018, got out, more importantly, which is what we're going to talk about here. When to be in and when to be out. Because if you sit and just listen to what people talk about on crypto, these are my bags, let me, shill me your bags, and you're just, if people hear that you've been, you were in trading crypto in 2017, then you probably most people think that, hey, it's you lost all your money because it went from what 600 to like 20,000 and down to 3,000 again. And if you're a trader and you don't listen to the headlines and you think, okay, actually there's probably some people in here who know how to trade this thing. Sure, there's a lot of crypto bros. Entropy, what's up, brother? Hey, I'm sorry if I am assuming you all are of the male persuasion, based on our conversations with each other, though I'm not 100% certain. So anyway, if I do mispronounce your name, or if I misrecognize anything, let me know and straighten us out. Let's keep each other, let's respect each other, right? Okay. So the thing about trading those big markets and these big moves is, guess what? You can get in and out of those. You don't have to be, you don't have to just buy and hold crypto. Like a lot of people who, do the cold storage thing. Yeah, they're still in crypto, but when we're talking about a tradable asset, whether you're trading Bitcoin futures or cryptocurrency futures, or, derivatives of them, or the tokens and, on the exchanges, or however you're doing it, there's a number of ways to do it. But since I'm a trader and we're trading here, we're going to talk about, getting in and getting out. And the things I want to focus on, I don't want to, I'm going to kind of avoid all this area here because this was in 2011 to 2013. It didn't really start running up until here. And look, when this thing went from, above $10, $10 was a big level. And it probably did it there. But look how these candles performed going to the $10 range, right? This one was the high of 928 in July 2012. And then as soon as we break $10, that big round number, as soon as we break above that, I'm trying to, close enough. You see what happens. We have that big volatility. It's a big round number. And a lot of people who were in Bitcoin from the very beginning had mined, there was probably some millionaires that were, that happened there. And as a personal experience, when you see your account hit that $1 million mark, one of the things you suddenly slip to you go more conservative. Getting up to $1 million, you're playing lights out. You're just swinging for the fences. You're just going for it when you're in the mode of getting it. But once you hit that one, suddenly you slow it down a bit. And you think to yourself, what about my legacy? You know, do we name a park after me, or do I buy a hospital and donate a wing? You know, you start thinking of goofy things like that. And $1 million is not really that much when you kind of realize, you know, we've always thought $1 million was big. 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was a huge number. With inflation, that's dropped. Now I know a lot of you are, you know, in different parts of the world, and you know, I myself lived abroad for probably about 15 years of my life, and I, you know, definitely earned a local wage in a lot of places. So I understand $1 million could be the most important thing in the world to anybody, but we're talking about people in this game, much like there are people, you know, $1 billion traders making $1 billion a year, not traders, but, you know, managers and investors. Okay. So, 98.63, we still haven't hit up to that 10, but back to it. So we're at 10, we're at, you know, $10 back in 2012, right? And see what happens. It's like a magnet. It just glides right to it, unrelenting. Now, if we were to, each candle is a month. So if we were to break that down into, you know, 5-minute candles or daily candles, it wasn't as direct, but you can see that pretty much people bought and closed here, bought at the end of the month, and, you know, price closed here. So people were just constantly buying. There was a perpetual bid. You hit 10, and now, okay, it's kind of a it's a simple idea, then it becomes a complex idea, and then it becomes an enlightened idea. Okay, so when you talk to your father-in-law, when you talk to a friend of yours who is a developer who, you know, maybe developed like I have friends who developed wallets for EOS. They were on the dev team for EOS. I have friends. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the Bay Area and the West Coast, California. So there's a lot of involvement with cryptography, with security, with distributed ledgers, and in essence, you know, cryptocurrency, a technical cryptocurrency. So some of the smartest people I know are not that rigorous in trading. And they're saying, you know, yeah, if this thing gets to 8, or if this thing gets to 10, and I have mined myself. Now, majority of these people are miners that really got in here and back into here. You know, it wasn't until, you know, this started happening when people are like, oh crap, a Bitcoin is no longer worth $1. It's now worth, you know, 10, it's 10 times. If you trade natty gas, think about a $10 natural gas. And I think we're under $2 right now. And think about how you felt above $2, thinking we'll never get below $2 again on natural gas. And then thinking to yourself, well, what would natural gas look like if it was priced if it was like crude oil, you know, trading at 40s and 50s and 200 or 180 or whatever it went to. Like, it's a similar sort of scenario. Now, you got to abstract away the idea of what cryptocurrency is. As a trader, I want you to remove yourself from the idea of the security and you know, Bitcoin and all of the vitriol and all the hate and anger and all the platitudes and the you know, Bitcoin's going to 125,000, Bitcoin's going to 500,000. If it doesn't, I'll eat my dick, or whatever he said. You know, like any of that sort of stuff. Just step away from all that and look at the screen and look at the asset and trade it like the asset that it is. Okay. That's how I want to start this out. Because people who are into this idea of Bitcoin changing the world and Bitcoin doing everything, bought it at $1, mined it at $1, or whatever their hash rate mining, you know, they're at. And now they have, let's say, 100,000 tokens at $10. A lot of them said, yeah, I'm out. And they sold, and, you know, at 10. And again, what I was saying is about, you know, some of the smartest people I know are not traders. That's duh. And, you know, in their mind, I've had many conversations with them where they're like, yeah, when EOS hits 8 again, I'm selling. And I tell them, when EOS hits 8, I'll buy those off you. So let me get my here, so I know what I'm looking like to you guys. Okay. Actually, let me put this. Can I do that? Is that too redundant? That's probably too redundant, but it allows me to kind of like see myself and not stare off into space. Anyway, so the like the best traders I know, or best okay, good. I got basically there's me in front of here, and you're not seeing it on the screen, so that's good. So I can kind of, instead of looking at myself over there, I can see myself here. Okay, so they're just unrigorously saying, yeah, if this thing hits 8, if this thing hits 10, I'm going to sell because that's enough. They're not thinking, or they're, like my father-in-law, who is like, well, if I have, I put $1,000 in it and it's $10,000, I'm selling when it's at $10,000. Not the actual price, but when his account gets up to a $10,000 profit. Because a lot of people are just like, that's just absurd. I'm out of here. And a lot of people still remember what happened December 17th, I believe, of 2017, when Bitcoin hit 20,000 and then fell apart. Another big round number. So that's what we're going to talk about here is this thing hit 10 and then it rips up to 16 and then comes back. And then basically for September, so August, September, October, November, it wasn't until like December, and that even really wasn't that bullish looking. This is all consolidation pattern. Okay. So everything within this spike and this spike is consolidation. So we're where it's you can tell that it is being bought or mined and whatever. It is a lot of action. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bull bars, one slightly bearish bar, and then that's always in long. That's an always in long formation. Okay, just understand that when you see this, you just need to have long exposure. You don't need to be trading it. You just need to be exposed long in that, and let the market take care of you. Okay, and so about 6 months later, this thing doubles to 20. So this person here who sells at 10 is feeling okay and comfortable with their life here. Yeah, 300,000, whatever. We're talking, I got $1 million. I got 10 million now, whatever. I'm cool. And then it doubles. And that person is suddenly going, whoa, okay, I need to get back in this game because I basically did nothing except get some code onto a server to mine for me. And then transfer that to an exchange that I could get my coins out. And I made $1 million. I can do more of that. I need to do more of that. And I need to get in because it's not just the mining. The mining is too slow. I need to own the asset now. The mining is safe, but I don't have enough servers to make this. So, maybe some of those people who, cashed out at $1 million or whatever went and started investing into more servers instead of thinking, they probably thought for 6 months that they were, they caught the top and they're geniuses. And yeah, they left a little bit of money on the table, but they did pretty good, and then suddenly this happens and it doubles and they're like, oh crap, I could have had 2 million. I could have had 20 million, whatever. And so when you have this sort of thing happen, you have the bulls that sold who were smart, who thought they were smart, suddenly coming back. Bears, if you have the ability to short it, are already smug and happy because these big wicks happen. And all of a sudden, this thing goes from 10 to 20, from 20 to 35. And then the next month, it goes to nearly 100. So all along the way, I'm selling at 20, I'm selling at 30, I'm selling at 40, 50 was a big round number, 60, 75, 80, 90, 100, and it doesn't get to 100. And so now you're sitting here thinking to yourself, well, I was going to sell at 100. It never hit 100. Should I sell at 97.50? Should I sell at 95? Or do I just, I have 100,000 tokens and I now have the potential, let's just, I just want to write it out there. That's $100 million. Again, it's not me guessing. That's literally $100 million. And I know how to do math, but I'm saying it's like that obvious that they're having a tough time. I wanted to sell at 100. I wanted to have $100 million. Now I'm only going to have 96 million or something. And there are people in here who are just like taking profits all along the way. So what happens next? All the chasers, bears, if any, were there, stopped out. We 100x'd our investment in like a year, and it hits the 100. It breaks through the 100. But you'll notice what is characteristic of that 100 level. What is characteristic of this candle suddenly? And 200 and 260. It's volatile, right? 100, we didn't get it here, and it's going for 100. It's going, it's going for 50. Oh, it blows through 50 easy. And there was some volatility here, of course. And then we get up to near 100, and it doesn't happen. So now everybody is like, oh crap, we didn't close at 100 on the month. I didn't hit my $100 mark, so I can't pull 100 million out, or I can't do any of these. And then 100 hits, and the volatility is going, because it's 100, big round number, you're going to get that crazy volatility like we got at 10, because it's a number that everybody is going to point to. Okay. And it happened. And then also we got 200, and we got a bunch of round numbers. So we're going to have this massive volatility from 260 down to 44. Now, can you imagine you had 100,000 tokens or coins, and it went from, whatever you averaged it out at, 8 to 100, all right, 8 to 10 to 20 to 50 to 100 to 200, and back down to 45. Notice it's exactly 45 too. It's not 45.12 or 46. It's a round number that just got defended. And it's below 50 because you had smarter traders in the game suddenly that knew these big round numbers are going to be opportunities to get a lot of volatility in there. And a lot of traders are going to say, if I'm trail stopping at 50, if this thing hits 50, I'm going to sell. So then you have more advanced traders like you and I, perhaps, who are going to put buy orders down below 50. It's a big round number. We're also going to put buy orders down below 100, 150, 200, all that, because we know it's going to hit and it's going to reverse on a dime when it hits that big round number. And again, now this is bearish, mostly because it's an indecisive one, and it's so big of a trading range that bearish, or it's consolidative type of candle. But this one turns bullish because now what's important to note is the candle opens here on the month, 139.87, goes all the way down to 81. So a 50, almost a 60-point drop, which is nothing compared to the month before, but still pretty massive. And then by the end of the month, bulls come in and buy it. It never gets to 80. It goes 81.50. So at 100, people are like, 100 is my trail stop now. I survived this. I'm at 140. I'm not going through that again. If this thing goes below 100, magic round number, I'm out. And so, yeah, it does. And they feel smart for about, a day or two, maybe. And then buyers come back, bulls come back, traders come back. Like, okay, good. It held 80, and it never went the full way down. So I can start coming in to buy. Now, one thing I also want to point out is the longer term charts are the best to use technical analysis on. Intraday, even anything less than a weekly basically gets algoed out. Now on crypto, it's less because there's more humans in the game. But generally speaking, think that if you're doing technical analysis, the bigger time frame is going to be your friend. On a smaller time frame, I focus more on the price action. Another inside bar. Okay, so now everybody who stopped out at 100 and got stopped out here is feeling pretty good about themselves. So yeah, it rallied back up, but now we're back below 100. It's never going higher than 100 again, is what people are saying. And then now we have this reversal candle. This is bullish. It's a bull bar. First of all, opens lower than it closes. So just in general terms, that's bullish. Price action towards the end of the month or the end of the candle. We never hit 60. We we go above 100 and close below 100. So people are still, understand this $100 level is going to be very, very contentious and very, I don't know what the word I want to use here is, but it's going to be dramatic. It's going to be drama filled. It's going to have a lot of emotions around it. People are making and losing money and they don't know what to do and they're not sleeping. When you have moves like this, people are just not able to sleep. You think you can sleep, you go to bed, and then you wake up an hour or two later and you open your phone and you're like, what's the price? You refresh, or maybe you have a laptop next to your bed with the chart on 24/7. Ask me how I know. I've done that stupid stuff. And like expected, this is a bullish hammer in an uptrend. What do we expect? We expect an up move. And then here we can probably even, because it's not 150, but it's above 100, we're probably going to have buyers coming in. There might be people who sat through all this who are looking to sell, but for the most part, which is good, you want that. You want people to have sold and to be penalized for selling. So we'll just, and this is how I do back testing, by the way. You're watching me do a manual back test without entering the stuff. So another hammer in an uptrend. This is bullish. This is an inside bar. I would be looking to get high, long, or high, get long a tick above here or here, because it's still above this. That's nice. And down. Now also, good traders have their stop down below this 60 level. Okay. Knowing that 60 is going to be a target and maybe 50, it's going to have something. But if it fails to put in a new high, then yeah, we're going to have some consolidation. That's my call here. Nope. We have a lot of breakout. And like I said, when it gets above here, it's going to rock. And again, we did notice how I say stop down here, or you could have put your stop as a close, but now this is how I do it. I put a stop on a closing basis. You'll recall I don't do it intra-bar here, or if you're really aggressive, you're using this bar as your entry bar and your stop. So close below there. Now your position size is going to be massive anyway. And now you have this massive bull bar. So in my next estimate is we're going higher or consolidate from here, but that is not bearish. It is bullish. Any bear bar that shows up as an opportunity to buy. Okay, well, there you go. You got 1,000. I traded this time. I know what was happening, so kind of unfair. But I didn't know this was the bar that was going to go to 1,000. But now everybody who thought they were smart at 10, who thought they were smart at 100, and went through this whole April through October before you can get back to 200, suddenly they get to 200 and they're like, crap, that's super bullish. And if you don't need to believe that that's bullish, but if this has done what it's done and the trend is still up, like you're just trying to buy, but you're scared to buy. As this thing dropped to 90, you were scared to buy, and then it breaks 100 and rips, and you're like, oh, okay. And also understand, a lot of people approached me specifically. I'm just putting in $50 a month into a crypto, or to buy, $50 a month worth of Bitcoin or something like that. So you have end of months are important because it's paycheck time, right? Mid-month and end of month, you have paychecks. So you say, I'm taking, 1% of my paycheck and I'm throwing it in to this account. So we know what's next. It goes to 1,000. And as you can see, we have volatility as expected. If this was a weekly candle, you would see you could see all the move action in there. But that's just extremely bullish. So where do you put your stop now? You're going to place your stop at 80? You're going to place your stop at 50? You're at 1,000. If this thing goes from 1,000 down to 400 and you had 100,000 tokens, like you're a billionaire right now. Okay. And exactly what happened. We had that $1,000 price level, and then you're going to have people saying, if this thing goes to 500, I'm out at 500. A stop is at 500. They're not going to say, I got my stop at, well, they may say I got to stop below 200, but That a good trader would have done that. You and I would have said, okay, let's trail stop this at 200 because with a close below 200, remember. But that's hard to do. Okay, so Centro login. I call a hammer this, okay? Basically, and also this. Basically opens at the high, goes all the way down, puts a long shadow at the bottom, and then closes up near the high. What's up, Colombia? ¿Qué más pues, parcero? So actually, you're from ¿Qué más, Chino? You're from Bogota. I'll use your language. Hola, Chino. Up, down, up. This is generally a hammer. In my world, they're hammers. Okay. Basically, I want a smaller body and a long tail to the bottom in an uptrend, signifying we have an uptrend. And bears try to come in, can't do it. Bulls come back. That's all this is saying. So oftentimes, even though this isn't more of a hammer, this is kind of maybe a hammer. The width, when you look at it, it looks like a hammer is what I'm saying. Like that looks like kind of like a hammer. Like, you got your hammerhead and a thing, and Thor's hammer or whatever. Okay, back to the game. So now you and I, the good traders, we'll call ourselves, we have trail stops here. And so we had it at like 191. And now we're going to have it we're going to ride this trend. We're going to try to get it. We're probably going to be at like 367, 350. And it's on a closing basis. And so what's going to happen is it's going to go down, and if it closes below that, I'm stopping. If it closes the month, remember, if it trades through it, I don't care. Okay. For those that are smart and hopefully think they're right. So inducement maybe. For those that are smart and to hopefully think they're right. So I can see if they were scared to get in and to also be scared to place a stop loss with that. Yeah. Yes. So this is price action, and we're dealing with market psychology. We know what we're already in. We might have gotten in here. We might have gotten in here. We might be long from down here, or we may be getting in just here. But either way, we're in this off the monthly. Now, obviously I trade off dailies, 3 days, 12-hour. So it's easy to come back and do it this way. But this is what we're doing this because we're preparing for that 10,000 price, which is going to happen today probably. And okay, inside bar. And that's a bearish bar because opens down here on the lows, goes all the way up to 1,000. What's happening at 1,000? This thing 995 never hits 1,000. So guess what? You still have a magnet of people saying, whoa, because they got in, let's say they got in at 200, this thing rounds up to 1,000 and they didn't exit, and then they got punished because it goes down to 360, still in the money, but like scared to death. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, if we ever see 1,000 again, and it's going to be 2 months before they see it, potentially, if they ever see 1,000, we're going there. And so as a market manipulator, what do? You start running it up to 1,000. So now everybody's putting their sell orders in here, and it doesn't get hit, and then it turns down. And if you're looking to acquire, they're fear selling here. Okay. They're fear selling here, and it drops to 700 or whatever and closes right around 800. So a lot of people are still waiting for 1,000. A lot of people have exited at 1,000 previously and are super happy. And there's still people who think that this thing's going to 1 million. And so you don't see 1,000 again. So what you're doing is you're building up this anticipation. Some of these people that didn't get 1,000 start fear selling all the way through here, and then it bounces, but that's a bearish candle. So we're going to get a bearish continuation, the next candle here, but bulls come in and save the day at the end of the month. This is a consolidation. I would say that this is most likely another candle of consolidation before we see anything stronger. Unless we get and close above here, then we're still in bearish mode or consolidation mode. We're not doing anything. Our stops are in place. We're fine. And in fact, we might have even moved our stop here close the month at 560, 550, and maybe you're exiting at 550, which is going to be some of these people. Or if you're more bullish on this, now you're still curious, but you're going to raise your stop, to like 400 area on a closing basis, not on a tick through basis, but a closing basis. But that is still a bearish candle. And this, notice it doesn't go below that guy. But if we get a move below here, we're going to do something. And if the uptrend is still happening, it's going to get reversed and we're going to start moving higher again. Otherwise, this may just trigger all sorts of selling. And with that down, this is bearish, 3, 4 bearish, and this closes near its lows, even though it's an inside bar. So on this one, I would be, again, raising my stop because it seems like this is in a stop on a close below here, by the way, remember. It seems like the bearishness is continuing and we could see further weakness. So people that were holding out for 1,000, big round number, 1,000, got it and then never got it again. They might have bought somewhere in here and, maybe bought here. And so they're at 725 waiting for 1,000 and now they've lost half their money. So my guess is we continue to the downside, which actually now we get a reversal potential candle. Okay, doji or whatever you call it. Now the thing is I don't have an actual, I don't dogmatically stick to the actual nomenclature names. It's what I see and what I call. So we can all kind of agree that that's like a doji looking candle, which is opens in the middle, goes high, goes low, and closes right about where it opens, with equal sides on the top and bottom. That's what I call a doji. Just long wicks, long tails, really narrow bodies, right in the middle of it, and that indicates indecision. Bulls and bears are fighting here, so there's an opportunity for bulls to come back in. If we can close above here on the high of that, if we can close above that, we can have bulls can come to the party and they can take off. If we close below it, this is a good consolidation. We had more bulls come in and bears come in. So now there's going to be stops ran. So when you have bulls and bears coming into the game, you now have more powder to light. You have more firewood to burn. You have more opportunity to kick things off. But if it's just bearish, that means bulls are going to be getting stopped out. They're not going to take another shot. And bears are going to bears will have, put most of their ammo back prior to this one. Bears would have put most of their ammo into the game by now. Longs would have sold, bears would have been short. So you need someone to come in and say like, hey, here's some more fuel. And you get it. You get that by bulls coming back in and bringing this back up. And now bears have maybe stopped out or something. So now you have fuel, because if this goes lower, bulls have to stop out, which continues the sell. And bears are going to get like more excited and add to positions. And also, again, remember, every month people are getting their paycheck. Okay, bulls have taken control. We close above the high. This is a little dip down, open near the lows and close near the highs. That's just as bullish as you could be. Okay, doesn't mean we're going to 10,000. Doesn't mean we're going anywhere. It's just saying, hey, this is a bullish candle in a bearish trend. So now this is also, if we fail there, that's a lot of bullish fuel and passion that needs to get stopped out. So it does give us fuel to the downside. If we are in a downtrend, we don't know. This looks like from 50 to 1100. That looks like right around 50% level. So pullback. So that's bullish too. You now have a bunch of bears who are fully short, and some of the aggressive bears got stopped out. Some of the early bulls are in the game. So you have a lot of fuel to hit the upside now. But you've also reloaded fuel to fail and bears. So there's a lot more. This was aggressive, lots of volume, lots of people doing it. Not so much. I'm tired of this game. I want to sleep at night. Holy crap, we're coming back. So that's the general sentiment. From here, we want to see another bull bar. We could also see consolidation, but if we see a weak bar, then it's probably going to continue to go lower. bullish. Bears came in. This is nice because Bears came in, tried to sell it off, and they couldn't. Bulls came back and won. Still a little doji-ish, still a little indecision, but it's still a close above the high of the previous, and that's a buy. And there you go. You have inside consolidation expected. Bears have jumped in. There is now fuel to rocket this thing lower and rocket this thing higher. So now we have indecision levels. 500 is right around here, right in this general range, right? And 1,000. Those are the two numbers people are focusing on. 600 is already part of the game. So people aren't really thinking about it. Okay, we broke 500. So now bulls would have, smart bulls would have had a stop here or a stop here or a stop here. You get stopped out, it goes below 500. Big round number, 500, not 400, not 800. 500 is a big round number. 100 is a big round number. 1,000 is a big round number. So we close below 500. Now we're going to have people are like, I'm done with this. And so again, we refueled. We now have bulls who are added long and suddenly worried because we're below 500. Bears who are a little more emboldened because we got a pullback and it failed. We thwarted off the bulls. So Bears are going to be a little more aggressive. Let's see how this one plays out. And again, same thing. Now you got below the 500, you close below 400. Now, as you're dropping from 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, those round numbers become more important. As you're going higher, they're less important because you've already hit 1,000. But every, when you drove from 500 to 400 and close below 400, people are just going to put those natural round number stops. And again, we had bulls get reloaded. So a lot of this got sold off. They got stopped out. They reloaded. Paychecks came in and everything. And now they're getting punished. And this looks like we're going to continue to grind down and go sideways for a while. And there you go. And you get more of it. And then bulls try to defend 300. Remember, now on the downside, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100 becomes important. And you get support there, but that's still a bearish candle. Even though it's, close in the above the 50%, it's slightly bullish, means bulls are putting in an effort. But it's not saying that bulls are in control. It's just bulls are making an attempt. They made an attempt, they failed. That is, even though it's a bullish bar, it is a bearish bar because they tried to stay above 400 and they lost it. So now everybody's, again, the 100 numbers are important until 500 in this game right now. Not always, but in this game today. Failed again. And that's because now we get below here. We didn't close below, but we got a tick below the low there. That would embolden the bears to get short. Bulls aren't really looking too much at this game. They're still scared. And now they're stopping out. We break 300 and we hit 200 and 200 holds. So there might be some bulls, which there were. There were some bulls that came in. Did we get to 150? Yeah, we got right around 150. So bulls are like 100 is the line in the sand. You're going to get people are going to be crazy at 100 because we were just at 1,000. But if you held 200, so there's some bulls who are like, okay, I'm working on it. Again, you hold 200. So bulls are taking their paycheck and coming back in. Some people are just, most people are gone by now. The active traders are probably done with this game, but this is general thinking here. Like I said, people are done. The candle bodies that were huge and open at the bottom, closed at the top, and all this stuff, these are tiny now in comparison, right? So our SQN, our volatility went from bull volatile up here, where you get a top in a bull volatile, to bear, and now you're in bear quiet. Bear volatile, bear quiet. Okay. Same. It's just people are like, I'm done with crypto. Done with crypto. It's just, this is like, the midday in the futures market too. Same thing. It's just people are just out to lunch. They're like, whatever, it's summertime. I made some money, whatever. I'll keep putting in $25 a month. It's, it's just a retirement, it's it's an upside thing. If it happens again, cool. I'll sell it, 500. I'll sell it 300. I'll sell it 1,000, whatever. I'm just not going to play this game. Hey, middle of the year. So we're at June now. So we're 6 months into the year. Suddenly people are like, man, maybe I'll get in here, start adding, a little bit every month. It's still nothing. This is bottoming. Nobody's excited. Yeah, we hit 300 and we closed below 300. So that some people sold at 300, and that's why we closed below here and we got a bearish candle. Round numbers until 500 are important. It's a little bit more volatile now. That is a continuation because we had that wick up here and we close in the bottom half. That's a bearish signal, but we're in a bottom. This is what's called a limit order market. You're gonna sell the top and you're gonna buy the bottoms if you're trading this. You're not really looking to accumulate much. If you hit 300, people are gonna sell. If you hit 200, people are gonna buy, and they did. Nobody's interested. Somebody's suddenly interested. October 2015. People are starting to think, okay, that's interesting. And we have asset accumulation October, November, December. That's price appreciation, generally speaking, for risk assets. September, not so much. Summertime. Okay, bullish, then bearish. This thing hit 500. So exactly what happened? We people sold at 300, so we had some volatility. We break 400, of course, and then 500 is next. And you're going to have people who are buying up here who are like, I'm selling at 500. If I can get back to 500, I'm out. Remember, 500 was that round number. 502 is what we got to, and it gave it all back. Round numbers look like, this is what round number candles look like. A lot of people think, oh, we're going to hit 10,000 today. That's going to rip to 15 and 20,000 within a week. And then we're getting 50,000 and then 100,000. That's possible. As you can see, this thing hits 100 or 200, and then this thing hit 100 and then 200, and then suddenly you're at 1,000. So what I'm saying is we hit 10,000, we could get 100,000. That's what this metaphor is here. Or it may not, who knows? I never thought 20,000 would have happened. Crap, I never thought 10,000 would happen. I remember thinking to myself, like, yeah, we may end the year at 8,000. We may end the year at 5,000. If we get to 3,000 this year, that was in 2017. If we even get to 3,000, when we broke 2,000, I was like, whoa. So it's all possible. And there are armies of people that believes this Bitcoin's going to be worth, one Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million. Think about that. If you got 10 Bitcoin in your account right now, imagine what 10 Bitcoin at $1 million would look like, and would you continue to add to your Bitcoin as it got there? So that's $10 million, obviously, right off the bat. What does the world look like there? Crazy. Okay, so 500 failed, but we still closed positive, and it's that probably is just a rally and a drop, and inside bar bullish still, didn't get 500. People are suddenly still thinking if this thing hits 500, I'm out. There's a lot of people who were here that like hit 500 and like, no, I'm holding, and then it goes below 400 and I'll stop at 400, and they get stopped out, and then now they're above 400 and they're like, okay. A lot of people are suddenly getting worried that thousands in target again. Bears are stopping to show up. They're there. It's less bears at this point, and it's more bulls taking from this whole hangover, taking profits where I'm just getting out wherever I can. I just need to get out. That's mostly what's happening here. Yeah, can't do 500. Another up, down, up, down. This is bullish. This is a nice bullish consolidation. Should be within a while, it should start moving up a little bit more bullish. Bears tried to do something, couldn't do it. We're still not above 500. So 500 is this looming target. So now we're going to get, if it does break 500, you're going to get a lot of sellers at 500. Not many buyers, but a lot of people in their mind thinking if this thing hits 500, we could see 20,000 tomorrow. And it's just not usually how it works. Still trolling people, but that's bullish formation. Now we get above 500. So a lot of people, we get to 500, a lot of people sold. The normal paycheck people have added, but we're now looking like, okay, this is interesting. Things are starting to pop here. That's a trend. Higher high, higher lows. Okay, so now we're starting to do it, and at this time also people are starting to adopt cryptocurrency a little bit more. I remember summer of 2015 doing work and getting paid in Bitcoin from the job, because that was, we were a cool techie world, riding one wheels and, big loft offices and all that sort of stuff, big massive beard. So crypto was cool, and it was nice because I think this is probably when people really started seeing payment options work, because price had stabilized. I remember the discussion was, do you guys want to start taking taking payment in Bitcoin as opposed to dollars? And I was like, well, that would be cool, except I remembered this, like, the price goes from 100 to 1,000 within a month. You could pay me $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and I'm worth 100,000. It's worth 100,000 the next month, and then you pay me, the next month. I get 10 Bitcoins down here and I get one up here, and then within a few months, my $1,000 is now worth $10. Like I need to spend it quickly. So I remember that being the discussion, but we did some of that. But now we're in a nice uptrend, and probably want to, at this point in time, you don't want to leave the station. You want to get more bears in there so that'll give you fuel to the upside, and you want to get more bulls loaded. So probably as we're looking at this now, the 600s, the 700s, the 800s are all big round numbers, and suddenly they're important. When you're above, you just came from above 500, the $100 things below are important. But as you're moving higher, I'm selling at 600, I'm selling at 700, I'll sell at 800, I'll sell at 9. As you step up, you start having these round numbers being important again. Inside, hold 600. Probably people are saying, okay, I'm gonna stop at 600. I'm gonna stop at 500, but let's let this puppy run. And of course, you're gonna stop them out at 600, and you're gonna stop them out at 500, and that's bullish. This is a bullish consolidation. I call this candle bullish because we go down to the bottom and rally back to the top. So I would call this a bullish candle. And you just stop these people out, which at 600 and at 500, you're going to need them, because they stop out and then we get a bullish reversal. Price moves higher. Who's there to buy? It's those people who just got stopped out at 500 and 400. And they're just sitting there like, oh, we got above 600. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're off to the races again. The early people. A lot of other people are just like, meh, not interested. Now they're coming back in. We get above 600. We hit 700. And now people are thinking, okay, 800, I'm taking profit. 900, I'm taking profit. 1,000, I'm taking profit. I'm stopping out at below 600 or 500. That's generally in the mindset. Got above 700, maybe had a little profit. And then you get up near 1,000 again, and people are like, crap, I need to buy this at all costs. These people who got stopped here are the buyers here and here and here. So they're getting worried. This is, history of Bitcoin, but this is me doing this is what I do on the Saturdays, is I step by step go through candles and think about price action. We didn't hit 1,000. We could, inside here, just bang around the 1,000 area and really scare people. If we hit 1,000, that's when volatility is going to hit. Biggest volatility is going to be at this $1,000 mark. And if we don't hit it, we're going to piss so many people off, which is great. And we hit it. And guess what we had at that big $1,000 level? You have a big volatile candle. All the $1,000 level, these big, huge round numbers have this massive volatile candle. Think about this. We're right here, 965. We're at 98.61. So we're 10 times this, but that's basically where we are right now today on Bitcoin. And so if you have a stop at 73, if your stop is at 9,000, you're going to get stopped out here. And it's going to, this thing's going to be, are you going to be safe? So I'm going to have a stop at 900. I'm going to stop at 800. I'm going to stop at 700 is what a lot of people do. The smarter traders are going to have a trail stop here, which means, let me pull up a, here, I should have that. Yeah, okay. So let's do a monthly. And so typically you see this, all these hit 10,000. All these were in the 10,000 range, and you see how volatile they were. Selling, 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 selling. Suddenly we have a bullish flip. Okay. So I'm just juxtaposing what we're going to see at 10,000. We got the 10,000. We hit 1,100. We did not put in a new high, but that's the third attempt at a high. And now we're in January of 2017. There was some China news, if I recall. Now we're off to the races. We close above an all-time high. People are suddenly like, oh, I'm going to get into this Bitcoin thing now. Oh, it's above 1,000. There's no way it's going higher than there. And it hits, it does, goes up 13, reverses. I think this was like the ETF news or something like that. And again, $1,000 is in play. So you're going to have that big volatile thing. When it trades around 1,000, you're going to get the volatility. And there you go. Another big one, another new all-time high close. 1350 closed at 1350.21, 1350 even. So all-time high close. And that's just bullish. It's just constant bullish. You're going to have perpetual bid in here. And if you recall, I don't know if you do, but we had 2000. So now 2000's in play here. You'll notice when I want to say these big 1,000 round numbers, you're going to have volatility. We almost hit 3,000, and then we do some pulling back because that's toppy pattern here. Big blast up, almost hit 3,000. People are saying, if this hits 3,000, I'm out. I'm taking profit at 3,000. And it doesn't, and it starts pulling back. And some people who were saying 3,000 are suddenly like, I'm just gonna get out. I'm just gonna get out. I don't want to risk it. And they're gonna sell here. And bears, I mean, you could short, and bears were all over the place here. A lot of people, a lot of bulls everywhere too. But again, 1,000 would have been a stop that a lot of people had. 2,000 would have been a stop a lot of people had. And here's just some people who just want to take profits as best they can. 3,000 almost in play, but again, now it's very frothy. People are selling, people are getting out. People are looking to, get on with their life. And then this happens. We break 2,000. So you see we had that big volatility, and we close up near 3,000. This is the first time we've closed this high in ever. So a lot of people are like, yes, this is good. Paycheck comes. I'm doing my whole paycheck here. I'm getting in. This thing's going to, some people are going, this is going to 100 million, $1 million per coin. And, all that stuff was happening. And there you go. As soon as it breaks 3,000, we rock it. And now people are saying 5,000 I'm selling, because some people, or 4,000 is my stop. Now we're looking at these big round numbers. And we almost hit 5,000. And here's what happens. As we almost hit it, people are like, oh, we didn't hit it. I'm going to start selling crap. And some people at 3,000 sold. And then other people are saying, well, that's the floor. 3,000's the floor. And you'll hear that mentioned these days as well. But 3,000 holds, and we rally back up. So that's a bullish candle. Still a bullish candle because of this long body at the bottom. Opens up here, new highs, almost hits 5,000. Doesn't, trolls people out, runs down to 3. Everybody's like, finally, I knew it. That was the top. Okay, we're done. And then what? We're closing up near the top again. So that's bullish. And there we go. Bullish again. We rip, get above 6,000. 10,000 is the next number that people are suddenly like, I mean, people weren't believing that 10,000 was there, but people are going to have a limit order in a sell limit. And they're just going to say, yeah, I'm going to sell at 10,000 because whatever, it's not going to, if it hits there, I'll take it. They're just going to throw limit orders there. That's what these round numbers are all about. The longer you spend trading around the area, the more it becomes like rocket fuel higher. But if it's a stretch to get to it, that's when it becomes a big reversal, which we get 10,000. And as you would expect on a 10,000 round candle, you have your most volatility. So now people are saying, you get up to 11 or whatever. Some people are saying, yeah, if it goes below 10, I'm selling at 10. 10's my stop. Or 9 or 8 or 7 or 6. So now the 1,000 levels all the way down are more important, but a lot of people are saying 5,000 and 10,000 now. And there we go. We go from 10,000 to 20,000, and people put orders in at 20,000 and they don't get hit. And then it starts dipping. You know, you're up at you're at 20,000. You have 10 Bitcoins, let's say, and all of a sudden on mid-December, right around Christmas, it went from before November, you were in 4-digit territory. Under 10,000 was still a dream. Now up here, you're worried that 10,000 is not going to hold, so you're selling everything. And also the whole, the Bitcoin futures contract came out, so there's ways to hedge your position. It was just a big time frame, big frenzy. And of course, if you started the year at what do we start the year? Right around 1,000, open 996. You close the year at 20,000. Yeah, you're thinking to yourself, I'm out. A lot of this is just people saying, I am so out of this, and I don't even want to think about crypto again. I'm going to go and spend the year traveling with my wife in Airbnbs. Bearish candle. Now, I mean, we know what happened here. If you don't, I know what happened, so it's still in my brain. But bearish candle, we make another attempt to get new highs. So this was January. We make another attempt to get new highs, and it fails. And you can look at the NASDAQ in 1999 to see this pattern and understand what it's going to take to wear it off. So the 10,000 held barely here, but a lot of people sold at 10. And then we open and we just dump. So a lot of people at the beginning of the month are just like, I'm out. And then if 9,000 holds, if 8,000 holds, 7,000, I'm selling at 9, I'm selling at 8, 7, 6 is what was happening. And then people are like, it's cheap. It was 20,000. I'm buying more. And my paycheck comes every month, so I'm adding to it. And they get dumped again. And so people are really scared in this area, which is what you need for a reversal type of situation, which now bears, so bulls are buying, and now bears have fuel to start running stops, and you run a stop here. So this stop ran, and guess what happens next? Consolidation. People are still bullish. People are still thinking, okay, it's just a few months of weakness here. We should be backing off to the races again soon. No big deal. Consolidation. Remember this stuff we had over here? No, somewhere way back here. Nice and gentle. People are just hung over, and they're just like, oh, I'm just so whatever. If it stays above, I'll sell at 5. I'll sell at 1,000. I have these round numbers, and then 5 hits. And so it triggers all sorts of stops. And then, of course, 3,000 was like a big support level that everybody had. And we held it off. Remember, round numbers, 3,000 is a round number. That's when this is around when the 2951, so right around 3,000 is where it broke out. So now that's where everybody's level is going to be. And 1,000 is the next level after that. So we're holding. People are feeling confident. Oh, now we're getting a little bullish. Oh, okay. We doubled. We went from 3,000 almost to 5,000. Not double, but we did pretty good. Oh, yeah. 10,000's in sight. This is wonderful. Hey, we're going back up. We're going to hit 20,000 again. I'm selling at 10,000. Notice this is a 10,000 candle. We have that big volatile mess on any time 10,000 is in the realm. 10,000 again is on the book. So we got all this volatility around a big round number of 10,000 again. And notice big wicks. This is rally momentum. These are momentum buyers getting in, trying to catch this move and getting stopped out, trying to catch the move and getting stopped out. And this is emboldening bears with all these tails. Bears are just saying, okay, sell below here, sell below here, sell below here, lower my stop, lower my stop, lower my stop. slightly consolidation, not really bullish or bearish. Bulls are starting to defend 6,000, but again, remember what happens at 5,000. 5 and 10,000 is the thing. Okay, nothing at 10 here. We get another run right at 10, so close. And here we are. Whew. Okay, so that was like an hour of me going back and talking about this stuff. So what's important? 10,000. Why is it important? Because look at that low volatility we have right now on this candle. That's just low volatility. That's nothing compared to all this move. This was from 13,000 to 9,000, 4,000 points, 12,000 to 9,000, 3,000 points, 11,000 down to 7,000, like 4,000 points. This is 10,000 down to, so 3,000 points, 96 down to 65, 3,000 points. And now we're having 65, so 1,300 points, finally getting the reversal, 6,800 to 95, 3,000 points. And we're a week into a month where the average move was from 3,000 to 4,000 points. And we've done almost 1,000. So what's 3,000 or 4,000 from here? 3,000 or 4,000 is going to be 9,000 to 12 to 13,000, right? Is the potential up move. Also, so anytime 10,000's in play, if we just go and look at every candle that had 10,000 in play, this had 10,000. Yeah. So high of 1035, low, so it's a 3,000. I need to refresh. You guys got any questions? So I'm gonna do this quick analysis. Every time a bar has 10K in play, that is, it's traded within 10K. So that's 77 to 11. So let's call that 35, 3.5, not that. Low 93, high 1212. That's 4K. 93, 12, no, that's 3K. And then we should have a 4K here. So this is 9 to 13, so that's 4K. And then this one was 7 to 14, 7K. This one did not hit 9,000 or 10,000. This one didn't, this one didn't, and this one did. Okay, so low 65, high 11.6. So 6. So 5K, is that right? Yeah. This one was 5K. High 11.7, low of 5. So let's call it 6K. I don't have any reason being the macro. Like I'm not a macro. I don't do any of that sort of stuff. I'm a price action systems trader. S. The question is, are there any fundamental reasons for being macro bullish Bitcoin? Really enjoy your legacy. Look, I'm not gonna pontificate on any of that sort of stuff. That's nothing to do with how I trade. I don't have any clue there nor interest. I don't spend it because I don't spend any time, any brain power focusing on any of that stuff. That's just irrelevant to me. Bitcoin is a tradable asset. Crypto is a tradable asset. Could change the world in the sense that that could be a new asset that we, new way asset class that we trade. I mean, we are trading it and utilizing it. But no, I'm not going to give any reason macro behind it. Good question, though. I mean, there are a lot of people who do, and obviously I'm from macro ops, so you would think to ask that question of me and think that I would know, but I'm actually the quant guy there. I'm the systems trading. I'm the price action guy. I'm not the narrative person. So, I don't mean to come at you like that's stupid because it's not. I'm not your guy for that answer. High 17, low 9. So we're going to call this an 8K move. So I'm just going through and I'm getting the average move. So high of 19.6, low of 93. So this is a 10K bar in 1 month. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's impossible for us to ever hit 20,000 again, good luck for thinking that. 11 to 5. So this is a 6K bar. So minimum we should expect is $3,000 in range on, I would say 3 is the minimum, definitely. The minimum we would expect the move to be. So if our low is 9, we could see as high as 20, or as low as the chart could do anything. But we have a range of, at this point, if we have no bottom from here, so the first candle to ever break, the first candle to ever break 10,000, I'm just going to put a horizontal line. I think I can do coordinates, yeah. Okay. So we've spent the majority of our life in Bitcoin below 10,000. What I want to do now is I'm going to look at measured moves. Okay. So one thing we can expect is that this is going to be at least a $3,000 candle, whether that goes down from 10 to 7 or from 9 to 12. So I'm going to kind of put this general area here as our range, minimum range for the candle this month. So if it hits 10 and reverses, it could go as low as here. If it 10 and rip, it could go here, and then it could do anything in between. That is minimum expected travel, right? This is the range that we expect minimum travel. And luckily, our stop would be, as if we're long here, our stop is something like this. Unless you're like me and you keep adding to your position, then you're probably raising the stop here, and you start looking at raising the stop here. Now, this is why if this thing does this number and all sorts of wackiness, you could get stopped out at 9. Like right here, low candle 9,000, you could lose everything. Okay, so that's that. Now we can look at measured moves. Okay, so we have 2 measured moves, and I don't think that worked. One. Let's just do. So let's throw 20, 1, 2, 3, minus 3,100 equals 16,9. So that would be our main price target, 36,900 from this high to this low. The measured move, once we break above 20, would be to 37,000. Okay. Next measured move is going to be from our high of 1388, 1380 minus, what are we, low tick, 6425. $74.55. $21,355. What do we say? 21,335. Okay. So if we're going to get a measured move higher off of this one, our first, actually, this should be. So these are our potential measured moves. These are not exact on the ranges. Ranges are not exact numbers, but we expect once this thing breaks 10, that at minimum, this range is going to be available. If it fails, it goes down to here and finds support. If it rallies and just keeps going higher, 12 is the minimum target top. Okay. We expect a 3000K, a 3K candle in here. The other thing I want to point out is there is not a single 10K candle that wasn't volatile AF. Okay. So 10,000, I want you to understand, is going to be a volatile incident. 10,000 is, there's not a single candle that doesn't have a bunch of drama that has touched 10K. Okay. Not a single one. So there's a lot of emotion and a lot of pent up energy in this area that you're going to want to expect. So if you've got a massive position going into 10,000, you're going to have to expect that you could see 7,000 within a few minutes or sometime this month. I'm going to add this one to my watch list. Bitstamp. Yep. There we go. Now, understand also, you have to use, these numbers are only the exchange, okay? So I can't say that we're going to see 21,335 on Coinbase or on Binance or on Wobi or whatever. All I can say is that that's generally the area. So if you were to go and pull up, like, let's do BTC USD, and let's just hit up, let's do Coinbase. The high on Coinbase was 19,891. The high on Coinbase or on Bitstamp was 19,666. Currently, we're trading at 98.3827 on, or 98.38, 915 on Coinbase, and we're currently trading at 98.36. So $3 difference on Bitstamp. It's just these are things you just need to know about Bitcoin. If you don't know that already, let's go back to our main Bitstamp. Now let's take this down to the 2-week. I like to look at 2-week charts. And we got our double bottom. If you guys are familiar with my trading, you know the double bottom, down, up, new low, we often spike. And as we did, we broke through 10,000 and then fail. And now we did another bottom, low, high, another new low, lower lows, but spike reversal, another attempt to come back, and now we're ripping. So we've hurt some bears here a little bit. A lot of bulls have come in, but there's a lot of bearishness to still. The bears who have stops above here, above here, above here, above here, and above here. So if we get above here, well, first of all, if we get above 10, this thing's going to do all sorts of goofy stuff. If we get above high of 99.50 and 98.99, we haven't gotten above this high yet. So bears are going to have stop outs. You can see that this candle, and once it got above here, it got a little wacky. And then once we closed above it, we start moving. So when we close above 99.50, that's going to take us above 10. So we need to get above 95.50. And then we're going to get wacky after 10. This is going to be a little pop, and then a little puff of smoke, and then it's going to just get massive. And then we're going to get, when we get above 10,350 on Bitstamp, that will take us even higher. And then when we get above 10,320, 10,9, we get above 10,9, there's going to be even more stops. And then finally, if we get above 12.3, we're hunting this stuff. So if any of these get taken out, expect adverse travel. So once we get 10, we're going to get adversity. Once we get above 10,350, we're going to get adversity. So it could just be plop, 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 because we have so many stops, so many good stop levels for this to just rip, 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 rip. And each time it rips above it, it's going to dip. So you're going to think, oh, we're off to the races. Nope. It's going to punish you for thinking such a thing. Silly trader. All right, who do we got in the house today? How many people are still here with me? Let me know. While I check my phone. Also, what cannot happen here, we may never get above this 99.50 here. So we never get to 10. And then we could see bottom. That could just continuation. It's looking like we broke, but a move back down into the 78s below 8 might be more trollish. Bitcoin likes to troll. S, where are you coming at us from, S? All right, so that's 2 weeks. Let's drop it down to a week. Beautiful complex bottom. Very good potential to Chicago. Very nice. Weekly. Now let's have a look at 3-day. That's just been pure bull for the past month. Now this is looking nice. We've got 5 hours and 14 minutes to close the candle. It may troll. We may just do this number a lot too. We may not hit 10,000 today or this weekend. It was looking strong a few hours ago or an hour ago when I fired it up. Bullish, bullish, bullish. All of this is very, very bullish. And then there's nothing to see here. This is just nothing at all. So this is the lowest time frame I'm ever interested in, is the 12-hour, 5 p.m., 5 a.m. My favorite time frame to trade on crypto. I like to watch the big ones, but this is where my money's made. All right, I'm gonna go make myself an espresso. If you guys have any questions, post them in this the channel here. Otherwise, we'll just keep monitoring. All right, I'm back. I know y'all missed me. It's crazy how when we start looking at 12 hours or 24 hours, how simple all this stuff was, in hindsight, on monthly charts. But when we start looking at 12-hour, 24-hour charts, you realize that it was actually really big. This is interesting gaps. No, they just don't show up. My kind of town, Chicago is. That's right. I think I'm gonna, unless there's any other questions, I'm probably gonna cut the live stream here, and maybe come back on if we do, if I'm in front of the screen and we do actually get above the 10K mark to kind of trade through it. My plan back to the 3-day or the 1 month. This is my plan. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll post this on Twitter. But this is definitely my plan of how I'm going to trade it, or what I'm expecting. I should say I'm already in and have been adding to the position since the beginning of the year. We know that the potential move to 21,335 is the measured move. Is off of this one here. And then measured move to the bigger measured move. This is the bigger measure move here. Okay, from here to here, from here to here. So what we expect is a move to the top. Invigorating sneezes. So in order for the measure move to kick in, is we want to take out the top and whatever it does there. But once it starts if it starts moving into a bullish trend above the recent swing high, then 21.3 would be the price target of that measured move. And if we get above that, if we get above 20,000, which if we would do if we hit this, then the next measured move, I mean, it can do all sorts of things, but then the bigger one would be 36.9. So actually, I got my boys. Okay, nice. So, anyway, Let me send this out real quick. All right. I don't think there's too much happening at the moment. Let's take it, drop it down to smaller time frame, see if there's anything going on. Nothing really. I'm probably just going to monitor on a smaller time frame so I can see if it does move there eventually. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and get some work done. And since there's no questions, I'm cool with that. I'll fire it back up if we do have anything happen. Otherwise, happy Saturday, happy weekend. Do your stuff. Like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff.